With Duet Night Abyss launching in just a few short hours, we're all facing a specific situation. With the launch of a new game, there's always a lot of possibilities and opportunities to really dig into the content. And with Duet Night Abyss launching with 19 characters on the starting roster, 45 weapons to farm and craft, genie mons to hunt, and demon wedges to build and craft, there's no shortage on things to do in the world of Elasia. So, where should you start? Let's get into it. The livestream Saturday established that we're able to earn our first copy of Berenica, Rebecca, Outsider, Daphne, Margie, Truffle and Filbert, and Lizbel all through standard gameplay as rewards. So as a result of that, one of the first things I'm going to focus on is tackling the story. I prefer personally to enter the late game and end-game phases with the main campaign out of the way and the resources from that progression acquired anyways, but the free units earned through progression are just icing on the cake. To that end, my plan is to tackle the campaign and attain my first copies of the aforementioned heroes as my main priority. I'm currently debating which characters I'm going to main, as my original main characters I was looking at seem to have been moved to version 1.1. Shilu will be mine, by the way. But given that that's the case, I'm instead going to focus on getting base copies of all the characters available until I find one specific one that I want to chase talent trees for. Though the character and weapon gachas are no longer present, this game is still a gacha at its core, so the concept of character duplicates converting into talent tree node unlocks is still obviously a core part of the character chase. The information yesterday let us know that getting Lizbel to Talent 1 would be a task accomplished by completing all of Mystic Maze encounters, a grand total of 60 character shards. For further tree upgrades, my intent is to collect and hoard secret letters. Secret letters are the real chase of this game's loop. Need weapon materials? Secret letters. Character shards? Secret letters. A majority of the actual gameplay aspects come from secret letters, and while we're filling out what's good, what's bad, and all in between, the best thing to do is to hoard all the letters you can get your hands on. The more letters you have, the easier it will be to target farm specific characters and weapons, not to even mention that the demon wedges are also tied to secret letters in some form as well, and the demon wedges, from what I've seen, aren't your typical armor or mod system per se. I'm also planning on hunting down some genie mons. Some of the showcase genie mons include the legendary elves, which the DNA X account revealed you'll get your choice of when you unlock the hardcover or collector's edition and reach Bard's Tome level 30. Each of the legendary elves correspond to a specific element, so before you choose one, it may be best to start by selecting a main character. While you can only choose one, you should theoretically be able to acquire the others through gameplay, so it's not the end of the world, but knowing which character you want to focus on makes the decision a little easier in the short term. When I normally cover gacha games, and lest we forget, there is still a gacha in this game, cosmetic or not, so that makes this game qualify as a gacha game. My recommendation is to preserve your resources. Play as close to the chest as possible. Gacha games are infamous for their tendency to make resources finite, so you have to really pick and choose which characters to invest into. But since there's no stamina system in DNA, I'm going to recommend the opposite. For this game, invest wide until you find a character that fits your playstyle. You don't have to max out every skill tree to know if you enjoy a character's kit and playstyle, but investing a little can make them viable for some activities that could let you get a good feel for them. It's also best to get some experience with the game and its mechanics before actually diving in, so you have an understanding of the game prior to starting. To that end, DNA has covered their bases by releasing Luno's adventure notes on their account. So, just some cliff notes from that, I'll go ahead and tackle them here. Your HP and shield bar is something you want to pay attention to. HP is the green portion of the bar, while the shield is the white bar. Shield will regenerate, HP will not. When your HP reaches 0, you die. But, like in Warframe before it, dying isn't the end here, as you've got a limited revive function. Your skills have a cost requirement called Sanity, which is denoted by the bar under your skills on the right-hand side. If you have no Sanity available, you can't cast your skills. Primary skill is shown as E, ultimate skill is Q, and Genie Mon summons as Z. There's also a dodge mechanic in this game, allowing you to dodge with a charge of 2. Long pressing your dodge key will also allow you to sprint. Other movement tech includes Helix Leap, which is an in-air dodge, and Grappling, which allows the player to use the specified interaction button to travel swiftly between grappling points. Take advantage of the movement tech in your kit, as traversing the battlefield and open world environment will be an important thing for combat and traversal in general. Like in Wuthering Waves, bosses will have a hit stun mechanic, which this game refers to as a stance bar. When attacking enemies, each hit they take weakens their stance bar, causing hit stun at 3 different phases. Completely draining the bar results in the boss entering an incapacitated state. While in an incapacitated state, approaching the boss will allow players to trigger Ark's Retribution, which will deal massive damage to the boss. Think of this as a sort of finisher of sorts. As you progress, you'll level up your trial XP. For those familiar with Warframe, this will be a pretty normal thing to see, but for those of you new to the concept, your trial level is determined by trial XP, which is gained most commonly by leveling up characters, weapons, Genimon, and demon wedges. This is very similar to the MR system in Warframe, at least on paper, if you want an example, but it more or less encourages diversification of investment into other characters to drive that level up. While we don't know what the system ties into exactly, I wouldn't be shocked if some purchasable items or high-end weapons had a trial level requirement to craft, similar to how Warframe does their system. The Nikana, for example, requiring MR8 off the top of my head. We do know that leveling up trial level grants Scarlet Letters and resources, as well as resonance buffs to shield defense, HP, and attack. Next up, let's talk about demon wedges. Demon wedges are devices that equip to characters and weapons and alter their weapons' attributes, trait buffs, and even attack patterns. Higher-end demon wedges can apply higher-end effects. Demon wedges can be attained from Noctojaeger manual challenges, bought at the bustling marketplace, or forged at the Luno smithy. Demon wedges are specific to either characters or weapons, and weapon demon wedges cannot be equipped on characters and vice versa. Demon wedges have a tolerance cost, and characters and weapons have a tolerance value. Higher value wedges have more tolerance cost. To offset this, there are slots and tracks that will have the demon wedge costs. If this sounds familiar, it's because it's extremely similar to the mod system in Warframe. We're not sure if you can polarize a slot just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if you can. It's also worth mentioning that build crafting in games like this in Warframe can be super intimidating to approach, so to combat that, the game will have a Demon Wedge casket system for collection purposes, as well as suggested optimal Demon Wedge builds for any and all characters. Next up, let's talk about impressions. This game has branching storylines that depend on how the NPCs perceive you. Impression falls into 5 categories: benefit, morality, wisdom, empathy, and chaos. The conversation choices you make directly fuel the stat value of each of these dimensions, which can then sometimes result in an impression check, which will unlock different story paths if passed. Basically, pay close attention to how you respond to NPCs in the game, as it will directly affect how the story unfolds. Depending on how heavy-handed this aspect is, I'm honestly really looking forward to experiencing it. It sounds super interesting. The forge system in the game takes various resources and puts them together to create a weapon from a weapon blueprint. Again, Warframe players may already be aware of this system, but for the uninitiated, you'll farm weapon parts from secret letters and then use those parts to build weapons at the forge. Weapons will take time to build but can be sped up using toy hammers, so hold on to any you actually get. You can also reference blueprints at any time to confirm the required parts for forging, that way you can target farm them. Next up, Genimons. Catching Genimons aren't as easy as throwing a ball at them. In Duet Night Abyss, you'll actually need to tame them by offering yum treats. Your taming success depends on the quality of the presented yum treats as well as your timing when feeding them. Once tamed, you can set them as your deployed Genimon and they'll accompany you, providing various combat buffs. Using your Genimon skill, which as I mentioned earlier was mapped to Z, doesn't consume any sanity, but it does have a cooldown after use. There are 2 types of Genimon, active and inactive. Active Genimon have trait slots that are gradually unlocked through ascending, similar to Echoes and Wuthering Waves. You can increase their trait levels via raise and even transfer traits between Genimons via Genimon training. Inactive Genimons cannot join battle, but they serve as more or less a stat stick, as their traits can be learned by other Genimons through Genimon training. When it comes to secret letters, they're used to challenge covert commissions. There are 3 categories of secret letters: character, weapon, and demon wedges. Completion rewards are divided into 3 categories as well: bronze, silver, and gold tiers, with the fixed rewards in each tier. The gold tier rewards have a base 10% chance of dropping from activity completions. Secret letters can be acquired from attaining and trading secret letter clues by completing regular commissions, or attaining them directly from game modes like Immersive Theater and Nocturnal Echoes. Completing the secret letter commission will give 3 random rewards from the various different tiers to choose from, which you'll then select one from. Gold awards 10 character shards, silver awards 2 character shards, and bronze awards a single weapon manual, just as an example of some rewards you can get out of those. If you have a surplus of a specific character's secret letters, you can also recycle those to obtain secret letter clues instead. That way you can focus towards another character's secret letters. To wrap things up, I want to touch on the elemental effect system and what weapon types you can chase. There are 6 elemental weapon types: Anemo, Hydro, Pyro, Electro, Lumino, and Umbro. All 6 of these elements can stack periodic elemental damage, but 2 of these elements have special properties: Lumino and Umbro. Lumino stacks periodic damage while refreshing the duration of all elemental bonus effects, while Umbro stacks periodic damage while reducing the enemy's stance recovery speed. Different elements have different relationships as well, with Lumino and Umbro being counter to each other, but the other 4 elements reacting in a diamond pattern. Hydro is strong against Pyro, Pyro against Anemo, Anemo against Electro, and Electro against Hydro. Make sure to take note of these relationships between elements, as the damage from advantaged elements is greatly increased compared to non-advantaged elements, which is slightly reduced instead. In terms of weapons, we've got 6 melee and 6 ranged weapons. Each character will equip one of each of the 6 weapons for 2 total weapons per character. Melee weapon classes are great swords, dual blades, katana, sword, and whip sword. Ranged weapons are bow, grenade launcher, dual pistols, assault rifle, pistol, and shotgun. Each character will have a weapon proficiency, which grants bonuses when using those weapons. However, any weapon can be equipped on any character, so you're not locked into using that character's weapon proficiency weapons if you don't want to. Running Lin and want to run grenade launchers instead of dual pistols? Guess what? You can do it. So anyways, that's all I've got. Hopefully this video will help you hit the ground running when the game launches in just a few short hours, so yeah. Good luck to everybody out there. We're only a few short hours until we're live, so keep alert, Fox Hunters, and I'll see you all in-game.